Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Variant Cast. I am here with the always lovely but hardly drowsy Trent Joseph. How you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. How's it going, Ty?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good. We are sitting here. It's the start of October, start of spooky season. We got some movie stuff to talk about. We got some TV show stuff to talk about. I don't even know if you call them TV shows or just streaming at this point, but we got stuff to talk about. So, without further ado, I'd say let's just hop into it.
Yeah, I'm done. All right,
Let's go.
so
All
we're
right.
talking about Gen V first.
Gen V. Gen V.
Just came out.
Uh, yeah. How much did you know about this going in?
I didn't even watch any of the trailers or anything because I knew I was gonna watch it. Um, I knew that it was gonna loosely connect to the next season of The Boys, and it was described to me as like a Euphoria style The Boys show that kind of mixes like the Hunger Games elements to it, and I was just on board from day one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's I I was so sold. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the boys. At this point, I would say it is my favorite like superhero thing going on right now. Favorite like just I don't know, like when you're talking about just nerd media,
Yeah.
just nerd media. I get most hype for a boys episode to come out or anything like that.
Hmm.
So when I heard they were doing a spinoff, I was obviously stoked. I knew it was going to be something that I was going to watch. And when I heard the premise, I was so down. Um, I think the premise or just the exploration in these shows of the branding and the marketing side behind superheroes,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the world I'm interested in and seeing it explored uh, to any level whatsoever in like these superhero things because it's something you think about, right?
Yeah. And especially
Like
when
Batman.
you're watching Batman, you're watching Marvel, and
Yeah,
you're like, there's got to be branding inside. Like we see it a little bit inside Marvel. Like we got like Captain America the musical, or like different things like that. But yeah, you want to see. I always want to see more of that explored.
yeah, like literally Batman. Who designed in canon the Bat logo?
I
Like,
think
who drew that?
I think Lucius Fox
Okay, sorry, I'm not up on Batman lore, but like all
Morgan
the
Freeman
logos.
in the Dark Knight.
Yeah, how could I forget?
Yeah,
Uh,
but yeah, no,
like
you want to think about these things.
yeah, like who designs most of those logos? Who like did Tony Stark just see
I mean, I
like
guess for
he
him it was
just
kind of yeah, it's kind of like more like naturally came about because he had to have the arc reactor, you know.
but he also canonically designed Spider-Man suit.
That's true. That's very
So
true.
what I want to know what went into him like coming up with that design
Yeah.
and putting it on. I think that's just an interesting scene.
Hmm.
But I think most people would say it isn't.
Yeah.
So,
Like that scene in
uh,
the first Spider-Man when Tobey Maguire's drawing the Spider-Man suit, like
yeah,
straight fire.
straight fire, dude. You were a kid. Did you do the thing? I
Oh
did
yeah,
the thing. I
yeah.
try to draw my
With the
own
theme
like
running in your
Spider-Man
head,
suits.
you're like, oh
Yeah,
my god,
couldn't do it.
yeah.
Not that good.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, anyone that was born around that time uh, for these Spider-Man movies. I have this thing sitting on a shelf. That's how much I love it. I think you got me this
Yeah, it was a
as
white elephant
a
gift.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
the
shout out that. I got that from Trent like 6 years ago when we were
the
like
DVD of
17.
Spider-Man 3,
Had no money.
how
Where
it was
did you
intended to be watched. I
how
think
where did you get this thing?
that might have been my like the copy that I got from when the movie came out. Because like
So this is like your childhood copy of Spider-Man 3.
I think so, yeah.
Why would you give me this much of you, dude? It's such a
That's how much you mean to me, Ty.
I appreciate that. And that shows. You don't give anyone your childhood copy of Spider-Man 3.
Exactly.
Uh, if I was a responsible enough kid, that mine probably didn't. I think mine got scratched the fuck up. I'll be
That's
real.
probably scratched the fuck up.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
The unboxing.
I don't know if we can.
It doesn't look too bad. There's some fingerprints, but
No.
it doesn't look scratched at all.
Those fingerprints are from me right now. I manhandled that thing because I thought it was going to be all scratched up, but that's a clean disc, dude.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Bro. Dude, 8-year-old Trent was fucking... He knew. Yo, it still has like this thing in it.
Yeah, what movies are on there? Hitch. You got Adam Sandler's Click.
For the audio listeners, I apologize.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been describing what we're looking at. A copy of Spider-Man. I think you could obviously. I put the mic up to the case so you could get that ASMR. But there is a insert in here for Bluetooth, and it's once upon a time Sony created the best way to watch movies. The end.
Damn.
And that was Blu-ray.
Right, yeah.
They said the end. There would not be a better way to watch movies than Blu-ray. It was the final format.
That's not even a Blu-ray disc either.
It's not.
Advertising.
They're just advertising how fucking awesome they are for creating Blu-ray. Anyways, Gen V.
Yeah, Gen V. Great show.
That's brutal for the timestamp listeners.
Oh yeah.
But Gen V, first episode has a bit of a Invincible moment.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some light spoilers, but there's a bit of Invincible
and
in it.
A bit of the boys just bloodbath. Just there's just so much blood. I don't think that's really a spoiler to say that.
Yeah, no.
It's a boys
it's the
show.
Boys.
So, yeah.
It is so perfectly in tune with the universe. I don't know if it's the same writers, if it's not the same writers. Good fucking shit.
No, it's definitely the same writers.
Yeah.
And the same creators.
Because it feels so in line. It feels like Huey could walk in at any fucking moment.
Yeah. That's what I was...
It's great.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. I was like, it doesn't feel like aesthetically different from the show. It doesn't feel tonally different from The Boys. Like, it's its own show, but like, it feels so much in line with The Boys show that we know that I just love spending time in that world. Yeah, no,
I know it's kind of ironic that there's these spinoffs because it's a little in the face of the universe talking about these superheroes and shit. But I really don't think that's what the show is trying to do.
No.
I feel like the show is more so, hey, what if superheroes were in a really fucked up universe?
Yeah.
It's not saying that superheroes outside, like, it's not saying like, oh, you're wrong for liking superhero movies and stuff because superheroes are dicks. It's like, no, what if superheroes were all dicks? Yeah.
No, and like, it kind of has that element of like the high school cliques and the people who you may know from real life, where it's like kind of like the stereotypical, and like they give them like specific roles in the show that I feel like work really well. Yeah. And there's also a lot of, I feel like, references. We won't get into spoilers just yet. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, the care that the producers put into the world building that goes on. And I think they've done it probably better than any other writing team has done like a cinematic universe and building a cinematic universe, you know?
Yeah.
And I know it's a bit different because it's small screen, not big screen.
Hmm.
But you contrast this to how big movie studios were doing like the dark universe
Yeah.
and how Hasbro is doing GI Joe,
Yeah.
having a GI Joe card.
And they're like pouring like hundreds of millions of dollars into those. And like I feel like The Boys is like made on a fraction of the amount of the cost, and like it looks great.
Yeah, and you can release any spinoff, I feel like at this point,
Yeah,
and people are going to watch it, and
for
it's
sure.
not going to be expensive.
No.
And it's kind of just a little bit of a cash cow Amazon guy here.
Yeah, the whole Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg empire. I feel like with Invincible and Boys, that they really
Yeah,
got something.
and yeah, it's definitely feels like uh, counter punching how the industry was going,
Hmm.
and I think that that's cool. And he saw that people were ready for that.
Yeah,
I think they always kind of have been with Kick Ass and uh,
yeah. We
Super.
saw, yeah, Super, and we kind of saw like a genre difference in like the Joker and different things like that. So I feel like people are ready for something a little bit different.
Yeah, I think they've actually been like teasing this for a while. I don't know if you've watched the Boys YouTube channel, but they post like in universe like
Oh
news.
yeah, yeah. I haven't watched it in the last few months, so I haven't seen any recent
I
content. But
I
yeah, I
was
used to
just
watch that stuff
randomly
all the time.
I was randomly on a binge just like playing some games, and I was just like I'm gonna just watch all of these.
Yeah, no, it's super funny.
And that was like a year and a half ago. And they were like it was before Gen V was even announced, so probably like year and a half. I don't know how much time has passed during like COVID era stuff between 2020 and 2023. That all feels like 1 year, but
Yeah,
it's somehow 3 years. I got to get that figured out. uh, but they talked about the draft, and I thought that was so cool being like a sports fan.
yeah,
uh, the idea of these cities having contracts, like instead of cities having football teams, even though they probably still do, they have superhero teams for their cities to
yeah,
keep their cities safe. And that obviously like affects their crime rate. So like cities are also competing.
yeah. That's true.
Like like Cleveland, I know has draft picks. Like Cleveland was in the
I
news
didn't even
thing
think about
that
this. I didn't even think about this element of it.
yeah, no, this is why I've been so excited for this show. Hoping they would talk about it a bit more, but I think you get most of this talk in the first like episode.
Yeah, we get a
But
little bit of rankings talk episode in the
yeah, and
following
the rankings
episodes.
talk is great
Yeah.
too because if you're talking like college to pros
Uh huh.
parallels, like it's ranking literally the top 25 ranking,
Damn.
uh, and then you get drafted. But yeah, no, it's so someone can get drafted by Cleveland. I think A Train might have been, or before he got like signed to the seven.
Damn.
So like the seven is like this governmental like it would be like if the NFL had a team of just like the seven best players on one team, or the NBA. I think it's a better parallel, like team numbers wise.
That just represented like the U.S.
Yeah. So they got the All NBA first team, and that's like the seven in this strange reference that
Yeah.
only sports fans find interesting. Moving on,
Yeah.
I highly recommend you watch Gen V. It's on Amazon, so not a lot of people probably
Yeah.
are
Should
seeing
we
it.
go into spoilers or should we just move on?
I think we should talk a little spoilers because I
Yeah,
think
I want
there's
to talk some
some
spoilers.
things that are interesting. and I want to post a spoiler short.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, for sure. If you guys are listening on Spotify, we do have a YouTube channel. Highly recommend you check that out, where you can see video and live facial reactions from myself and Trent. But thank you for listening. Anyways, let's get
So,
into spoiler talk. You
so
want to go ahead? Tell us
yeah,
what happened.
I was really thinking, like, I was really surprised that Rick Riordan, the golden boy, like actually like turned out to be actually likable character. And then the end of episode one, obviously very very disappointing. Just like very, just because I was just hoping he was gonna like we were gonna see him throughout the rest of the season. And I don't know, I just really thought that all the character building was dope in all the different elements. Like we got um like the guy who transforms into the girl and vice versa. And I thought that was a dope like aspect of the show. And then the girl who always wears gloves that can't touch anybody. I thought that was also sick.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think all of their powers are really unique and cool. Obviously, we've seen like empaths, but I think she's like the most realistic
Yeah.
in the sense of she talks about the consent of it all,
Hmm.
and how she'll sometimes say like, "Oh, I could make you do this,
Yeah.
but I'm not like I could," and she's like absurdly powerful
Oh yeah. Like when
because
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, Golden Boy is like a near Homelander level
Oh yeah.
kind of threat. He was gonna join the seven. Like
Yeah.
he's
That was
like
dope.
top seven
Yeah.
to be on the seven, and that's just
Yeah. And yeah, the his whole backstory I thought was super interesting. Lots of plot twists. I felt like, um, and yeah, just an all around great first episode. I felt like. Uh,
yeah. I
uh,
apologies. So when Golden Boy goes in there, and then he kills, is it Blick?
I believe so.
Blick. He kills Blick, who's like this kind of like I don't know. He's like the greatest GM. He's like a he's like a president, professor kind of guy. Really important, high up there in terms of like Compound V
Yeah,
experimenting.
I guess he just knows which powers are good, which powers aren't,
Yeah, he's like good at training heroes or knowing which heroes are gonna. I don't know. I don't know, man.
which are gonna
Anyways,
follow their rules or not.
he kept a bunch of secrets, and then Homelander killed him. So, I mean, not Homelander, Golden Boy. Golden Boy killed him. Do you know who plays Golden Boy? I do.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger's son.
Yeah. So by proxy, he's also a Kennedy,
Oh damn.
and I feel like he kind of looks like a Kennedy.
Yeah,
I feel
he
like,
does a little bit.
yeah. I'm just because yeah,
I definitely looked that up because I was like, he's got just like one of those faces that looks like he should be recognizable, or he should be somebody's son or something, you know?
yeah. My friends were saying he looked like Tom Brady for most of it, and I was like, he kind of does,
Yeah,
but also he kind of looks like someone else.
yeah,
Ended up being Arnold Schwarzenegger and John F. Kennedy. Anyways, episode 2 was also good. We got to see Mariah really fucking pop off.
yeah, yeah. So
And
yeah, a couple references that I thought I felt like I saw in the first couple episodes was obviously Golden Boy, and it kind of looks like the Human Torch. I wouldn't be mad, but I feel like there's an arm fall off boy reference when that dude got his arms ripped off in that that competition, and
Oh,
then he just puts his arms. They put his arms back on. You know what scene I'm talking about?
yeah, yeah. No, the when they're just like practicing,
Yeah,
or
when
they were actually sparring. That was an event of some
yeah, in the
kind.
first episode when she was sitting in the stands and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna be the top competitor of that one day, and then just like sees some dude just get his arms ripped off in there. But
I
yeah, and
don't.
then go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like she's kind of ridiculously powerful, and we just haven't seen the full extent of it yet. Because if you can control human freaking blood,
Yeah, no, that
like she's gonna like tap into
it doesn't
something
seem
else.
to. Yeah, I guess we haven't seen anybody else bleed around her. So, but then she would be able to control their blood. But yeah, that would be
Well,
something.
she saves the girl that's
Oh
bleeding,
yeah, that's right, and she heals her.
bleeding out, and then
Yeah.
she also is like when they're all like sad. She's like play. She starts playing, not really playing, but like picking up Golden Boy's blood.
Mm,
I guess it could have been hers because she did have like blood out there, but like he was like just a massive puddle
I
of
see.
blood.
Yeah.
So
Damn. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
yeah, so I think that's uh
One last thing for the boys.
yeah.
I just want to pose a question. Climbing through somebody's ear, like
Oh,
that doesn't seem good on anybody's part, like any party's position,
I
right?
don't.
Like
So
I
that
wouldn't want to crawl through somebody's brain.
yeah,
Obviously,
you're
I wouldn't
referring
want
to
my I wouldn't want my brain to be called through. In the end of episode 3, when that girl is super tiny, and then she jumps up on his shoulder, like takes out his earplug, and like climbs through his ears.
yeah. So that's like the cliffhanger that they leave us with while dropping the first 3 episodes.
Yeah,
They're like, okay, this is what you're gonna see. This is what we're gonna leave you on. Why the fuck did she do that?
I have
Why?
no
What was she
idea.
thinking?
And then yeah, she was like, and then she just says that's gross afterwards. It's like, it's like,
You didn't
yeah,
need to do that.
yeah,
Just
no,
leave.
yeah. So, anyways,
I do want to talk some MCU.
yeah, definitely. Um,
So I just kind of wanted to go over what's the current state of the MCU. You can call this a state of the MCU address. Uh,
phase 5, I believe.
Phase
Uh,
5.
I'm pretty sure we're in phase 5. Loki's about to come out. Loki season 2. Um, hopes are pretty. I feel like hopes are pretty high for Loki.
Yeah, I my hopes are pretty high for Loki. I
Yeah, mine
think
too.
they successfully kind of waited out the didn't wait out. This is when it was gonna come out, but he got. I think, I did he clear the allegations, the Kang allegations.
Um. Yes.
Uh,
Unconfirmed. It's still all alleged, even though
but
they're.
like he's in this.
Yeah. No. He's in it. He's full through and through. They're keeping him as Kang, rolling with him. Hopefully, not another Ezra Miller situation. And
I mean, it
yeah,
doesn't seem to be.
and I like him as I liked his portrayal as Kang in Ant-Man.
Yeah.
You gotta separate the art from the artist, you know.
If we could separate the art from the artist, I think he's a great fucking actor. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. And
And
I haven't seen Creed yet.
oh, you gotta
So
see
I need
Creed.
to see. I need to see. Apparently, he's pretty good in that.
Yeah, I mean he's great in everything I've seen him in. But yeah, I think Creed really shows like how good at being like a lunatic he is. He's just really good at being a lunatic.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too good.
I guess we're I guess we'll find out eventually, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like no one just is secretly a lunatic for this long, and it doesn't like come out like really, really, really pop off.
yeah. There was a video of him, I think last week or the week before, and there was like just like two girls like fighting in in the streets of LA, and he like runs up and he's like, it just very like it looks so set up, and he's just like, hey, 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 stop fighting, and then just like literally just like stops, like very casually stops the fight, and people were like joking that like that was like his PR team that released that video to try to make him look better. But yeah, it was such a funny. I thought it was such a funny video
That is
taken out of context.
that is so funny, actually. If that is a PR stunt, that's the funniest PR stunt.
He just like runs up. He's like, hey, 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 chill, 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 chill. Just like, wow, maybe he is a good guy. Jonathan Majors, maybe not so bad after all.
Did you see him do that?
Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, he was in.
I actually,
Go ahead.
I actually think a good way to do this would be going through the timeline of the MCU. And just like we'll just shoot through the early bits, and then we'll talk more about the kind of the current state of it.
Okay.
But we'll go through the canonical timeline
Okay.
as depicted by Wikipedia. As of I Am Groot season 2.
Season 2.
They're
I'm
up.
not. Yeah, I know. I'm not totally caught up on my MCU stuff.
You haven't seen I Am Groot?
I have not seen I Am Groot season 2.
I have not either. I watched season 1.
I did
I
too.
don't know why.
Just because it was some Guardians content before the holiday special, right?
Right.
That's why I watched
really
it.
missing the Guardians. But now like Guardians Volume 3 is coming out, and I was just like, I Am
Yeah.
Groot. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll get to it. Maybe on some type of drug. Or something legal. Anyways, in 1943, the first Avenger happens.
Okay.
That's where we're starting.
I see. For some reason, I thought you were doing it by theatrical release, and then I was like, oh, he's just doing like the original Captain
We're going
America
by
movie.
timeline. And then that lasts 2 years because there's a sick time lapse, and then in 1946, Agent Carter happens. I never watched Agent Carter. How was it, Trent?
I enjoyed it. Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter, always a good watch. Yeah, I mean, I was in my Agents of Shield grind phase, so yeah, I suggested if you're into Agents of Shield and the Marvel shows, I like it.
I like that. I think then we're at 1995, so there's a pretty big jump there
Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel.
where they haven't shown anything between 1947 and 1994.
Seems fake, doesn't it? Like it seems like there has to have been something in there, but
What If is gonna show something around that time, I think.
oh yeah,
I think they released some episode titles, and
was it like the Red
that's the one
Guardian
that.
something?
Well, that's just the one that stood out to me. It was like what if the Avengers formed in like it was like some 1700 like year.
I see. I remember when they did that in the comics.
Yeah. So that would I don't think What If is on this though.
Yeah.
So then yeah, Captain Marvel happens, and then nothing in 1996 to 2009. They say Iron Man takes place in 2010.
Yeah, see, Pretty sure
I feel like
In Ant-Man there was a flashback. But if you're counting flashbacks, there was a flashback to the 80s. But it's okay.
I'm subscribed to this one dude on YouTube because sometimes I just like background noise when I go to bed, and really boring like informational kind of interesting stuff. Really like the best thing to like put me to sleep. So I got watching this guy that does MCU timeline videos, and I don't
Just
retain
explaining plot
anything
holes
he
or something.
ever says. Yeah, he goes through and he like goes scene by scene, and he has this community. He gets views on these things. He's probably making an okay money with this stuff.
Yeah.
But he just puts out videos.
Yeah.
He just throws them out there.
I should do that.
It's a bit of everything.
Uh-huh.
And he's great. Love him. But I know this is a heavily debated thing because he's constantly posting, does Iron Man work better in 2009? Does Iron Man work better in 2008? And then like there's an MCU timeline book coming out right now, and this is a big fucking drama in the MCU timeline community because this is the official book. Damn, what this thing says is law.
Mm-hmm.
And they're coming to some big realizations. So I'm not sure if I think this is the official one, if it's on Wikipedia like this. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if the book's out yet.
Yeah.
Because
we'll have to stay tuned.
Trent, no. You'll have to stay tuned. No, there was a leak. They leaked the index. They leaked.
That's all people needed to know.
They were able to piece together everything.
So when does it take place? 2008 or 2009?
I don't remember. I always fall asleep.
You'll be on the edge of my seat now, Ty.
I'm sorry, dude. A bit of everything on YouTube. You'll have to find out for yourself. Anyways, a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer. Also takes place in 2011.
Thanks.
Then in 2012, Iron Man 3 happens. Imagine that. In December of 2012. So then
it's Christmas.
In 2013, you have something like All Hail the King. Is that? Yeah, All Hail the King, because he's in prison. At the start, that's how he started his new year of 2013.
Fake Mandarin.
And then the Winter Soldier happens in 2014. Now 2014's a big year. You got to keep up here. So the Winter Soldier happens in winter.
Mm-hmm. Can I try to guess the rest of them?
Yeah.
Got Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
And then you got Thor 2. Thor 2 before Guardians. Oh, damn.
No. I will say the rest are all Guardians things.
Oh, okay. So Guardians 1 and Guardians 2.
Yeah. But also I Am Groot and I Am Groot Season 2. And that's all for 2014. It just looked like a lot because all the I Am Groots.
Yeah.
You
count and each individual episode.
But 2015 Age of Ultron happens. So the Age of Ultron was 2015. That's I think that's a pretty good like subtitle for 2015.
The Age of Ultron.
Yeah. Like if I was just gonna be like, hey, 2015, The Age of Ultron. Like if you have to give every year a subtitle, someone do it. Anyways, in 2016, Civil War happens. So, I forgot Ant-Man also happens in 2015. Because then Civil War happens, and then that's why he's on house arrest.
Yeah.
Then you get Black Widow happens in 2016. So Black Widow happens before Black Panther. How does that make you feel canonically?
Um, how it should have been. No, not
Okay.
not actually, but yeah, she was a main character since 2010. Like she deserved her own
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. I yeah, it's kind of a bummer cuz the Black Widow movie came out during COVID.
Yeah, it was the first movie released by Marvel coming out of
Yeah.
the pandemic, and
Yeah.
a lot of people just waited to see it on Disney Plus. And then there's the whole Scarlett Johansson thing. She didn't get everything she was actually supposed to be paid because they put it on Disney Plus like 30 days after it came to theaters or whatever.
Yeah. So it, like tanked the box office.
Yeah,
But it's tough.
yeah. I feel like it should have
It's
done
tough.
it should have done better than it did, especially being Scarlett Johansson and
Yeah.
being a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's one of the few Marvel movies I didn't go see in theaters because of the
Yeah,
pandemic was pretty bad around the time that
hmm
it came out
yeah.
where I was living. So it was just easier to wait to see Black Widow cuz like, you know.
And there was like that weird thing where it was like you buy it for like $20 on Disney Plus. You
Yeah, I
remember
think
that?
that's what I did. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I just bought it for $20. Did my $20 go towards the box office?
No.
Yeah, so like
And that's what it was. It was like she was guaranteed like a bonus off the box office numbers, but they didn't include any of the Disney Plus watch at home revenue.
so
So she's like, what the fuck, guys?
she's basically what the actors strike is
Yeah,
kind of encapsulating is she got screwed by streaming cuz there was no protections for actors
yeah.
when streaming. That's tough. Okay. And now I understand the actors strike.
So moving on to 2017.
2017 we have Ragnarok, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp happens in 2018.
That's her
So 2017 is just Ragnarok. And then Infinity War,
big event.
eh, big event. And then a 3-year gap to Endgame. How is that a 3-year gap? Oh no, 4-year gap.
Yeah, because
2019 to
it
2022.
was like 6 years later,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. 2018. Then 2023 Endgame happens. That's also when WandaVision happens. So WandaVision happens right after Endgame. Then Shang-Chi happens in 2024. So
Which I enjoyed Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, that's another one I didn't see in theaters. I waited for it to come out on Disney Plus because I think it came out around that time as well.
Mm-hmm. It felt like a movie that was like, um, it like I guess after the being in lockdown and everything, that was like that was the first time where it was like felt like I was back watching like an original like one of the early day Marvel movies. Like it felt like the connectedness. You had Trevor coming over from Iron Man 3. You had different elements from the other movies, and I really liked it.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I hope is it getting a sequel?
Yes, and the
Okay.
director apparently is directing Avengers 5, so we'll see.
Not sure if people would find it corny, but I would love just like you can't give everyone a movie, but just like team up movies
Yeah,
would be dope.
yeah, I
Just
agree.
like
And at
like
the
just
end
like
of Shang-Chi, like they had one of probably the better end credit scenes of these recent movies where it was like him in, investigating the rings that he had, and it was like Hulk, Captain Marvel, uh, somebody else was standing there too, like a Koye maybe or somebody, but like they were all standing there, like asking him about his things, and then they just haven't followed up on that yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope. I mean, we're gonna see it. That's like the culmination events. It's just, it feels like another Avengers movie is never gonna happen. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I kind of feel the same. Like I know it's inevitably going to happen, but yeah, I feel the same way where it just feels so far away. But then it's like yet again, it's supposed to come out in like 2025, just like 2 years away.
Yeah, I don't understand how that's possible at this point.
Yeah, like taking everything that we know from the MCU now, and we'll continue with this list. But
Yeah,
I just right now I don't see how it can culminate into like seamlessly into an Avengers movie, because in my mind it has to be like in the style of like the first Avengers movie where like they're kind of all meeting each other for the first time relatively, like they've all worked with each other, but like Captain Marvel hasn't had like a personal conversation with Doctor Strange.
that's a good point. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah,
Like, because that's what the first Avengers movie is, and that's what that,
it's all about the team
like,
dynamic,
that's what felt cool about it.
but like you can't just
So
redo that because it's not going to be the same.
yeah, that's a good point, because it's the way the first Avengers and the second Avengers movies worked is completely different than the way the next two did.
Yeah,
Because, like, the next two was just like, hey, you know everyone.
yeah,
Now we're going to just go do a bunch of
yeah.
stuff.
It's like you've watched the previous 20 movies. Now we're taking all the characters that you know on this journey, and like now they have like 40 main characters. Like, how are they going to give Moon Knight any time if they want Oscar Isaac in the Avengers? How are they going to give Moon Knight the same amount of screen time as they do Kate Bishop or Miss Marvel or any of the new characters that they introduced?
Who's the Captain America and Iron Man of, like, this next Avengers movie? Like, who fills that role?
I think they're saying that it's like Shuri in like Doctor Strange, which just like doesn't scream at me, you know.
Yeah. Like, what about, like,
Captain Marvel,
who's Captain? Like,
Spider Man. Spider Man's too young. He's not. He's just a kid.
but, like, you kind of need him, though.
Yeah, no, definitely need Spider Man. Like, and like you're gonna have it on. You're gonna what? You're gonna put a Spider Man in Avengers 3 and 4, and then you're just not gonna have him in the other Avengers movies. Like you gotta put Spider Man in there. His movie made $1 billion after the pandemic. They're like they have to keep putting him in Avengers movies. And now there's
Yeah.
their whole dynamic of, well, they don't know that Peter exists, but they're friends with Spider, but they've been on adventures with Spider Man.
Yeah, this is strange. Uh, okay.
So
I
yeah,
guess we'll see that when it
rant
happens, but I'm just thinking
rant
about
over.
that. They have kind of backed themselves into a corner there. I don't know where they're going, but
Yeah,
maybe it'll all make sense soon enough.
yeah, I hope so.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That
Hmm.
feels so long ago.
Yeah, it does.
That was like the kickoff of Disney Plus. Go
WandaVision
to
was, and then that was right afterwards.
True.
But yeah, that does feel like forever ago.
WandaVision's just so good.
Yeah,
It kind of escaped that for me. But Falcon and the Winter Soldier is pretty good. It's just not like good enough for me not just to associate it with it coming out as a
at a
Disney
certain
Plus show,
yeah
as like the next Disney Plus. Because there was a time where I was just never using Disney Plus just because it didn't really have a lot of stuff I like watch on a daily basis on it.
yeah
So the only time I would use Disney Plus is when a Marvel show came out for the like first two, but now they have like a lot more stuff.
yeah.
Uh, and I was watching The Mandalorian, so there was that as well. But I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I I am interested in what a Captain America movie looks like.
hmm
I am
And
really
you
excited to see
you know
that.
about the next one, right? So they're filming, almost done filming four right now, and Anthony Mackie Captain America movie with Red Hulk in it apparently. And I don't know if like apparently he's actually going to be Red Hulk, but you might be like, wait, didn't the actor die? Yes, but Harrison Ford's going to be him.
Oh, I think I remember hearing about this. This is gonna be Harrison Ford.
Yeah. So they replaced him with somebody who was older than the original actor. But
That's
yeah, like Harrison Ford as Red Hulk, like count me in.
yeah, yeah.
Did you watch Shrinking on Apple TV?
I did.
I I thought Harrison Ford was really good in that.
He
Like
was really fucking good in that.
like Harrison Ford was always like Harrison Ford to me, you know, like he was like Han Solo, like Indiana Jones, but like I felt like that made me really like fall in love with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, for sure. I love Harrison Ford. I definitely think he's gonna. I think he can bring a lot to a role.
Yeah,
Um,
if he doesn't just like try to phone it in.
I hope he doesn't. I'm trying to think. I'm hoping. I hope he doesn't. Like I hope Harrison Ford just lives forever.
Yeah,
We can't. What What do they do, right? Because they've kind
back themselves into yeah another corner.
of. So how does the MCU work? If Harrison Ford dies in the next, let's say, 8 years, I don't think that's absurd of me to say.
I feel like Agent Ross is getting to like the end of his arc. You know, like it really felt like they were like almost they like because like they're doing Thunderbolts and like it really felt like he's not going to be around forever. Maybe he's going to be in like three more movies max. So maybe they're like, listen, we got like a few more. Like we had this all planned out. We got to do like two movies. We'll film a third one while you're filming both of those. You won't have to ever act like you participated in a third movie, and we'll
Yeah,
and it will everything will be fine.
yeah. I hope they kill him off and let Harrison Ford like chill.
Yeah,
I just don't want like a nut. Like, could you imagine if the MCU goes on long enough that multiple actors have died in the cat, like the role just keeps getting recast?
yeah. I don't know because we saw like with what happened with Chadwick Boseman where they actually just like killed him off in universe. So it could go either
Yeah,
way, but I don't know. I feel like it's got to get to a point eventually where they just hard reset and people aren't gonna like it. But
yeah.
gotta happen at some point. Like Robert Downey Jr. like not gonna come back. Like he's not gonna come back for Iron Man. Like they're gonna have to eventually find another one
They
to
got Riri Williams now,
yeah,
Trent.
I know, but I'm saying like the Tony Stark character. Like people
Ironheart.
Disney goes, "Hey, people like Tony Stark. Tony Stark made us a lot of money. Endgame, biggest movie of all time where Tony Stark died. We got to do that again. Let's run it back."
You can't do it again. I'm so excited for what Endgame's gonna look like in 40 years.
Yeah.
You know, because like to us, Endgame came out in what 2017,
Yeah, 2018.
2018. We were like 18 years old.
Yeah,
Hadn't seen the world yet.
yeah.
So long ago.
It has such
And
a different
Endgame
perspective
comes
on
out. The culmination of the MCU
everything that I
Endgame.
knew at the time. Literally, my entire everything that I spent every minute of every day thinking about culminating.
Endgame.
The hype was literally so real. Like that was just like literally one of the greatest pop culture moments ever.
Yeah. I don't think it could be replicated for me just in terms of like nostalgia. Just
Yeah.
like the theater. We like we traveled up to like a bigger city like an hour away,
Yeah.
two or like 2 hours, no, like 3 hours
Yeah. It
away.
was like 2.5, 3 hours
Yeah.
to watch it in fucking IMAX. And that shit was a
uh
banger.
watch, watch it in IMAX. Let's go.
What a wild time.
Yeah, it's look back on it fondly,
Yeah.
but after it canonically obviously won division, we did that, and then we were
Went
Shang-Chi,
all the way
Falcon
down to
Winter
Falcon Winter
Soldier,
Soldier.
and then Eternals happens. You like Eternals?
No.
I didn't really like Eternals.
Yeah, I
I was
did not like it.
it was probably my bad. I was pretty sleepy going into it.
Yeah.
I nodded off for one scene, and that probably affected my viewing. And that's on me. And I haven't rewatched it because it's pretty long.
Yeah. There is some cool moments in it, but yeah, for the most part I did not like it. Like um the stuff with the celestial in the sky, there was like a shot of the celestial like overlooking Earth, and I thought that was pretty sick, but uh, it story it out. And
And since we're
the post
going
credit
down,
scene again, just nothing following up.
yeah, yeah, nothing. It
No Harry
didn't do well.
Styles, no Pip the Troll.
It didn't do well.
Yeah.
None of it. We're not doing any of it. Why'd they do that? That's weird. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I think if we're going back down memory lane, the MCU could do no wrong in my mind at this point. You just dropped Endgame. You turned around and were like, hey, this whole streaming thing's easy. Boom, here's a banger in WandaVision.
Yeah.
And then the
Another.
Falcon and the Winter.
Yeah.
I don't think this is how they released. Maybe close, but probably not. But anyways, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was good too. Eternals was the first miss for me.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Like first big miss. Other than like if you go way back, I don't like a few of those early movies.
Yeah.
Those are a chore, but they're kind of also a product of their time at this point.
Yeah. And there's some
It's
charm
kind
in
of
a lot of them.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to look back at early 2010s, even though that seems absurd to say. But after that, we go into Far From Home, and then No Way Home happened pretty close together on the timeline.
Yep. Um. Yeah. I love this iteration of Spider-Man. Far From Home. Uh, Fantastic. Another just pop cultural moment. It felt like. Um,
No Way Home, the multiverse.
yeah.
Uh, Obviously, Into the Spider Verse did the multiverse first in
Yeah.
cinemas,
Yeah.
but swiftly following was No Way Home.
Yeah.
I guess not super swiftly, but on the tail end, and you got to see all three of your childhood Spider-Man on the
Hmm.
screen at once. It was
It
absurd.
was wild.
And somehow Willem Dafoe stole the show.
Yeah, seriously.
Like he's like, you're gonna give me screen time in the MCU. I'm gonna fucking
I'm gonna
take
eat that up.
all it up.
So
It
good.
he was so great, and it was my. I wish he was just like a character in the MCU.
Yeah, I know.
Why can't he just be
There's no reason that says he can't. You know.
that? That's a good point. That's a good point. Who's to say that Norman Osborn doesn't look the same in Peter's universe?
Because J. Jonah Jameson was the same.
And maybe Peter sees him and he's like, "Oh shit, that's that one guy. I remember him
Yeah,
from No Way Home. That happened on the timeline
yeah.
in 2024.
Into
I
the Spider
remember that."
Verse style dialogue pops up in the corner that says, "It's the last scene in No
Yeah.
Way Home."
Yeah. So he goes, and that goes into multiverse of madness and the multiverse stuff. It's a Sam Raimi movie. I think people, when anticipating this movie, because of No Way Home, expected it to be something that it wasn't, and didn't
Yeah.
realize it was a Sam Raimi movie. And I think it's a pretty good Sam Raimi movie.
Hmm. Totally agree.
Uh, However, I do think the inclusion of the like the star multiverse girl. I know she's like a character in the
Talking
comics,
about
but
Eternity,
no,
because that was in
no
Thor:
the
Love and Thunder.
the Captain. No, what is her name? I can't remember her name.
America Chavez. America
America
Chavez.
Chavez. Yes, yes. Apologies. Um,
I gotcha.
I feel like they could have done it without her.
Yeah,
I do like her. I just feel like I would have preferred just more Doctor Strange by himself instead
yeah,
of like having like a new character. Like I
yeah,
just would have preferred just Doctor Strange
yeah. And
and
this,
maybe Wong.
yeah, this kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, how, um, like about team up movies. Like it seems like there's a lot of movies that almost should be solo, that should be like independent stories that they kind of try to rope in other characters for like a team up. But then there's other times where it could work with a team up of, where like a team up could work. But yeah, I feel like this story could have been told without America Chavez. Not that she's a bad character, but um,
Yeah. Not that
I
I
just
just I
I would have liked to just spend more time with Doctor Strange, like you said.
yeah. I just would have preferred it be just him, and I'm interested because Sam Raimi famously didn't want Venom in Spider-Man 3.
Mm, yeah.
I did Sam Raimi want America Chavez in this movie? Did he?
I mean, probably not, to be honest. It seems like lately, I know that the director of the Marvels came out and said this, but she was like, yeah, when like I showed up and essentially like everything was essentially all laid out for me. What like I didn't really have a lot of control over the aspects of like the story, you know, like all the groundwork and all of the like through lines were kind of already set out for when they got there.
That's a little worrisome, isn't it?
I know, I agree. And
I
I think maybe Marvel gave Sam Raimi a little bit more freedom because he's got a big name. But Nia DaCosta is a pretty big name for people who follow like film and stuff, and she's directing the Marvels. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm interested. I feel like they need to hire more big name directors to kind of get people on board
Yeah,
for some of these movies, to sell kind of that crowd on it, because they are a box office crowd,
yeah,
and you need to kind of appeal to them a little bit, get like a name in there. I
and that
don't know
kind of
what
seems to
those,
be like what DC is trying to do, at least a little bit.
right,
Um,
right.
but yeah, that's the story for a different day.
I mean, I'm gonna be watching some James Gunn stuff.
Yeah,
Uh, but to finish 2024, it's a Christmas special. It's Hawkeye, and then Moon Knight, and then Wakanda Forever, and then She-Hulk. We're in 2025. Then Miss Marvel, Love and Thunder, and Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is the holiday of 2025 to go into 2026. To go into 2025 a little bit, just to recap, kind of how I feel about these. I loved Moon Knight. I think Moon Knight's pretty dope. I liked Wakanda Forever.
I agree.
I liked She-Hulk.
Agreed. She Hulk was also good.
I
Like the
did
cast
not
of
like.
supporting characters.
Yeah, I liked the one-offs. I loved the
Mhm.
episode of the guy
The frog
settling.
dude.
Frog Dude was so good. I loved him. I hope he comes back in some capacity.
Yeah.
The guy that Mr. Immortal,
Oh
or
yeah,
the guy
Mr.
that like
Immortal.
dies,
That
and
was sick too.
yeah, I liked him just settling all his marriages, because for some reason bro feels the need to get married every time he dies and comes
Yeah.
back. Maybe that's how he gets money. That's how he gets the bag. Even though it didn't seem that way, it seems like he was a rich and successful man otherwise. But I did not care for Miss Marvel at
Yeah.
all.
I
I
thought it started out good.
loved, yeah, I loved episode 1 and 2.
The school
I
aspects were definitely the
loved
best part.
those.
And then
Yeah,
they just like went off to the other country, and then she like met her grandma through the magic rift thing, and she
did not care.
yeah.
I could care less.
Yeah.
Okay, this is your power. Cool. I don't need to know how.
But
You
those
don't, and it
first two
definitely doesn't
episodes.
need to take the entire climax, and then you're all of a sudden like fighting in your school.
Yeah. Yeah, if the
It feels
whole
like he,
show was set in the school, like it was in episodes 1 and 2, it kind of had like it had a very like homecoming vibe to it. I felt like it. I felt like the show would have worked.
yeah, and like I feel like the directing, the cinematography was great in those first 2 episodes compared to like a lot of other like teen high school movies.
Yeah,
So I felt like it was really standing out in like the genre, and then it fucking kind of just lost itself. I don't know what happened.
yeah,
I really don't. Biggest fumbling of like a first couple episodes.
definitely.
Uh, but if you like want to know who Miss Marvel is, watch like the first 3 episodes, and then just stop watching.
Yeah, and then go watch the after credit scene of
Yeah,
of the show.
True, true. You just watch the first 3 episodes and the last one,
Yeah.
and that's all you need to know. Love and Thunder, I thought was okay. I thought it was good.
Yeah. I
I
thought it was
know,
okay.
I know a lot of people don't like it because the CGI bad, and I understand that.
There was a couple pretty bad parts.
I
Gotta admit.
understand that.
If-
I I liked uh Christian's performance of the God Slayer, even though he
Mhm.
didn't get enough screen time.
Yeah.
This feels like another. I don't know why Jane's in this. I feel bad saying that, but I feel like it's a Thor movie,
Yeah. No, I agree. They
and
just tried to do way too much.
it's the God Slayer. You tell people, "Oh, Christian Bale's gonna be the God Slayer in a
And he
Thor
didn't murder
movie."
one fucking god that we knew from the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
Not the Panther god. He didn't go take out one of the gods that we literally saw in Moon Knight a week before.
oh my God, yeah. And and like, remember when Agents of Shield did like tie-in episodes
Oh yeah.
for stuff coming out at the time? It literally felt like that. Oh, we're gonna have the God Slayer right after we watch Moon Knight.
Yeah. No, that's what it seemed like. Yeah. So
Come
yeah,
on.
that aspect of it, I didn't really. That was like my main question. I was like, wait, so like,
And I like the Jane Foster like as Thor run.
yeah,
But why not just wait? Like
just give
Natalie
her like a
Portman
mini
is
series or something. That would have worked as a Disney Plus mini series.
Natalie Portman is still gonna be hot in 10 years.
Facts.
Like you could run it, you could have ran that storyline in 10 years if you wanted to keep this universe going. When Chris Hemsworth was like, "Hey, I'm kind of done playing Thor, so we're gonna kill you off, and we're gonna bring in like her." And like even though she has cancer, she's gonna battle it for like however long she wants to play this character.
Yeah.
Instead, you just wasted it on this, like jamming it into this movie that should have just been the God Slayer
Yeah.
and Thor, just like doing stuff.
And now Thor just has like a daughter.
Thor has a daughter now. It's 2023, bro. Get with the program. Thor has a daughter now. And it's Chris Hemsworth's daughter.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So there's the inevitable time. Because, like, that girl probably thinks that scene with her dad is the coolest thing ever, right?
Hmm.
She has now presumably aged a good amount since that movie came out. I have to imagine she is so driven to excel at acting that they have to pry at that role from her cold, dead hands. You're going to have
Oh,
to do a 5-year time jump to get me out of this role.
it's definitely going to be like one of those situations where she finds out by Marvel posting on Instagram that they that they recast or that they cast the new Thor movie and that she's not Thor's daughter. Like I feel like they're just gonna recast and just not say anything.
Yo, what if by the time Young Avengers actually comes out,
Yeah,
the
Avengers.
original actress. What?
I was like Young Avengers. There was a time where I was like, definitely Young Avengers coming up. Like, I definitely thought that was next, and here we are. Nothing to show for it.
Yeah. I I think that's uh, one of their bigger misses. I feel like why not in the age of tablet kids release a Young Avengers?
Yeah, seems pretty obvious.
It's you. There was a time where people thought Spider-Man was going to be in the Young Avengers.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, how is Tom Holland? I guess Tom Holland's
And Haley
gonna be able to.
Steinfeld. Haley Steinfeld's like like 28, isn't she? She's like,
No, she's only like 24.
oh, okay, okay, but
I think she's
still,
around the same age as me. Yeah.
like, she's not gonna be able to. I guess Kate Bishop in the MCU isn't necessarily as like young as she is in the comics. I think she's like 19 or something in the comics.
Yeah. Yeah. It, they. I feel like they underestimate how long it takes, which I feel like they should be the only ones that don't do that.
Yeah, it's gonna get to the
They
point where uh, we could count this as one of the sandwich props, but gets to the point where Tom Holland is doing the Parker Industries like they did in the comics, where he's aged to the point where he's got to be older Peter Parker, and then he's the leader of the Young Avengers because he knows how it feels like to be to be a Young Avenger.
uh, uh, I'll take you up on that. Yeah.
I don't.
I
I
don't
was
think that's gonna
no.
happen.
It's like I don't think that's gonna happen. As I was
Yeah,
explaining.
no. I do.
But if he
Took
does
me a
plan
sec.
on playing Spider-Man, like if Marvel wants him to stick around for like 15 years to keep the
Yeah,
MCU going, like
yeah.
I could definitely see him
He's
evolving into the Parker Industries Peter Parker.
can Tom, can Tom Holland's name carry like a movie?
Um, kind of carried Uncharted, I'd say, but
Uncharted.
other than that, like Cherry, nobody even saw that. I did a movie with Daisy Ridley. Nobody saw that. Um, what was that? Oh, he did an Apple TV show. He did an Apple TV show. I didn't watch that.
You're one of the bigger Tom Holland fans. It's the
I'm a
Apple
big fan
TV show,
of
dude.
his portrayal of Spider-Man. Okay,
Yeah,
he's a
I
good
am
he's a
too.
good Peter Parker.
He's my favorite.
He
He's
was
my
not a good
favorite as
Nathan
well.
Drake. He was not a good Nathan Drake in Uncharted.
Yeah, yeah. You should have got that Schwarzenegger kid. He would have been a good Nathan Drake.
Yeah, facts.
Uh, and then uh, the Guardians Galaxy Holiday Special. I don't know if they'll ever do a holiday special as good as that one, but they seem to like to release things around like that time of year.
Yeah,
So they'll probably do more themed stuff.
definitely.
Probably always be a spooky thing around October. We're supposed to be getting Agatha.
Yeah, it's coming
When?
out next year probably.
Agatha next year?
Yeah,
I feel like that was supposed to come out by now.
yeah,
It's
but
crazy.
you know, writer strikes happen.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think,
no.
I believe. So,
2026 Quantum Mania happens. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And then Secret Invasion is the latest thing to happen in the Marvel timeline. So that's where we left off with Secret Invasion.
yeah, Nick Fury's own show where Samuel L. Jackson got to showcase absolutely none of his range. Just kidding. Samuel L. Jackson's always good, but it just did not work for me.
No,
Uh,
no.
yeah, Ben Mendelsohn should have been used a lot more. Played Talos. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like they should have done a lot more with him. The final fight was just like pouring bleach into my eyes.
Yeah, no, it wasn't for me. Wasn't for me, and that's where the MCU left off. So it kind of left off on a stale note. But I'm hopeful. I hope the next few movies crush it. I'd love to be excited for the MCU again.
Yeah,
It just hasn't been. Um, or maybe they should fail. I don't know. Who cares? Hopefully they're good. I always root for a good movie.
if they do fail, maybe they'll start making lower budget movies that they actually let the director take full control of and actually makes a good movie. You know?
Yeah, I think they've been overproducing for sure.
Yeah, and especially with
Yeah.
Disney Plus, I feel like they got a little bit out of hand. They're like, oh, got this whole thing. We're gonna have this whole new system up, and we'll give people a piece of MCU every single week, and it's like that that like doesn't work because like we said, there's just too it's too expanded now. It feels like
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the MCU timeline.
that's our
Um
30-minute segment on the MCU.
yeah. Yeah, that that was just a whole timeline breakdown is what we'll that'll be a separate clip.
Yeah,
That's a tremendous amount of time, and you're getting a really long episode if you're an audio listener.
yeah,
We're gonna go for about an hour and a half here. So we're gonna pick up the pace though with my review of Bottoms. That was what I was recommended with.
oh yeah,
Uh, yeah, in your 60-second review last week on episode 1, we talked about Bottoms. You said it was like a 4 out of 5, and I was like, Bottoms is a 4 out of 5 for you, dude? Because I saw like a like a 30-second TV spot, and it looked rough. In the
okay,
30-second TV spot, like out of context, I was like,
mm,
this looks so low budget and just like
yeah,
low brow. So when you said 4 out of 5, I was like, what? And then I go and like Google it to see like how to stream it, and it like comes up with like a 92% on Rotten
yeah,
Tomato. It's kind of insane, and I was confused as to how it was going to be good, and I watched it and it was good.
yeah. It was really good.
I I'm surprised by how it basically felt like you were watching a and I'm seeing it's getting review bombed here with 1 stars on Google reviews, probably because of the portrayal of men.
Yeah, masculinity is in shambles after
My
Bottoms.
my masculinity got hurt when I saw a man be stupid. That made me feel bad. No, but people are really dumb. Like, stop review bombing. It does nothing, dude.
Yeah,
No one cares. No one will think about that ever. Anyways, upon wasting your time, I wanted to shout out Ao. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she played one of the leads,
a
Josie.
debris, debris.
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate it.
she's so good.
She's so good. She's in The Bear. If you haven't watched that
Teenage
on
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
or Hulu.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Oh, she's in
She played
TMNT.
yeah, she played April in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So
And
she's kind of
she's
rocking
kind of
it
everywhere.
right now.
Yeah, she's everywhere this year.
That's dope. She deserves it. She's great. She kind of has a similar delivery to everything, but when she says different words,
Yeah,
It like works differently in the bear versus in here,
definitely.
obviously. And I think she portrays believable in every role that she does. She just plays a particular type of person, though.
Yeah, and it feels like very real. Like
Yeah,
it didn't feel like anyone in that, like, except for like the football players. Like it didn't feel like any of the like any like the girl like the actresses were like acting. You know.
yeah, yeah. I when you said that the guys are really sensitive and stuff, and it's funny, I was like, what does that mean? But now I get it.
Yeah, just barely
It's
gets tapped on his knee, and he's like, just like crying.
it, there's some actually interesting bits. I highly recommend you watch it if you're a fan of just like interesting, just written humor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of solid gags
Hmm.
and callbacks, and it's kind of like one of those parody movies from the early 2000s if they were done well.
Yeah.
So it kind of like parodies everything from the plot points of like the entire, like a typical high school movie with like a liar reveal and all that, but it's actually done well.
Yeah.
um, and I recommend you watch it. It's like $15 right now, but I'm sure it'll be on like some streaming service in a few months
Yeah.
or something.
Probably come on Amazon Prime at the end of the month or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Or if you know how to obtain other things. But as we go into our next thing, we have the Who Am I's.
Yep.
Cool. I'm going to have a few. If you don't know, we did one from last week. We're going to fire off three. They're going to be a bit easier, hopefully, for you to knock out pretty quickly. But you're going to have three exclusive interviews here, uh, one by one. But like they got places to be.
Yeah.
They've been here for an hour and 20 minutes now. They need to like go do other things. So
Hmm.
let's go ahead and get into these questions, Trent.
All right. So let's start it off by asking you if have you won an Oscar before?
No.
Okay. Um, do you mostly work in movies or TV or music?
I've probably done mostly TV, but I've done some movies recently.
Okay. Um, are there are there any are there any iconic quotes or anything that you could think of from your movies or TV shows?
No,
Okay. Um, what where where were you
that was
born?
a quote, by the way.
Oh, okay, okay. Where are you from? Where were you born?
I was born in Oakland.
Okay. Um, what what let's see. What movie in the last 3 years were you in?
I was in 80 for Brady.
Okay. Um, were you a were you a leading role in that movie?
Nah, I kind of just showed up as myself.
Okay. Are you Rob Gronkowski?
No.
Okay. Are you I was just thinking about just guessing. Because there's only a handful of players. I haven't seen 80 for Brady, but I know of at least three players that are in it. Um, Julian Edelman.
Why don't you like ask a
Okay, okay,
question
okay,
that
okay.
eliminates some
I see.
people? You know,
Um, what what position do you play on the football field?
I don't play football anymore.
Oh, okay. Um, what position are you retired from in the NFL?
I ran it a couple times.
Are you Tom Brady?
No, I ran it a few more times than that.
Okay, this one. Um, uh, I'm assuming you're on one of the Super Bowl winning teams.
I should have won a couple, but yeah, I won one.
Okay. Um, I got no clue. I give up on this one.
It was Marshawn Lynch,
Ah, damn. That was a good one.
starring in Bottoms.
Yeah, I didn't know he was also an 80 for Brady. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it does. I guess he just showed up. Um, all right, next guy come in.
Next,
We unfortunately, we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to Marshawn. We're gonna have to pay Marshawn a lot of money now.
yeah, I asked him too many
Uh,
questions.
yeah, you asked too many questions. You got his name wrong, and then you
And I
just
only
gave
guessed
up on
white
him.
people.
Yeah, you just gave up on him. And I said the no quote because like the Marshawn Lynch just answered every question with no for a whole press conference. No,
See,
no. I wanted to do I'm just here so I won't get fined, but I just thought
yeah,
that
that
would
was
give
be
it
way
away.
too obvious. I would have
Yeah.
actually got it then.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on to the next one.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Um, are you a part of any franchises?
Yeah.
Do you usually play a good guy or a bad guy?
Defense.
Either or both. Are you like a character that walks the line, or are you definitively a good guy or a bad guy?
Ah,
Okay. Um.
I look out for myself mainly.
Okay. Okay.
In
Um.
those movies. In those movies. I do other stuff, dude. Like I'm not just like a franchise actor. Like come on,
I see.
that
Um.
might be what you know me from. Man. Chill.
What's a famous director that you like working with?
I was in probably when I was in Vietnam filming with Jordan Vaught Roberts.
Okay. Do you in this movie were you in the Vietnam War, or were you just filming in Vietnam? No, like were you actually in the Vietnam War? Like were you filming a scene that depicted the Vietnam War?
Uh, I had no participation in the Vietnam War. The movie did take place after the Vietnam War. And if you must know, I was in Kong Skull Island. You freaking uncultured. You haven't seen Kong Skull Island?
No, I have seen Kong Skull Island.
Oh, I haven't.
You're random dude number 5 who gets eaten by. No, I'm just joking. Um, are you what color is your hair?
uh, it's like just like brown most of the time.
Are you ever blonde?
I mean, I have been, but you probably don't know me as anything
Okay.
like that.
Okay. And how long has your movie career been going on? You'd say.
I would say I've been acting full time for about 8 years.
Okay. Um, and Kong Skull Island. Let's stay on that. Um, were you a top 10 in the call sheet?
My first role was in 2001. I just want to clarify.
Okay.
Uh, but that was when I was just a wee. I really started acting like 2011, and then really took off in the last like 8 years. Really gotten to show like what I'm all about.
Can't be Brie Larson.
No.
Um, what's another movie that you've been in?
I was in Endgame.
Okay. Um,
Only for
are
like a
you,
little bit though.
are you Samuel Jackson?
No.
No.
Got one more left, man.
Um,
I hate to sue this podcast. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
sue you for millions here for wasting my time. Really
Have you
expensive.
ever won an Oscar, sir?
Uh, that's something. Uh, I'm not sure about that. So here, how about I'll give you some stuff. All right.
All right. All right.
I'll give you some stuff. I'm starring in a Disney Plus show. All right. I'm the star. I've been around. I've been supporting in movies. I've been the antagonist in a couple movies. But this is like my thing now. Uh where I get to actually be like the protagonist. The guy like you're kind of rooting for in the end. And I'm also doing other stuff like The Simpsons. Welcome to the club. But that's mainly where I just cameo as my character in the franchise that I'm in, which
I
is
see.
Marvel.
I see. Um, oh God, the only people that I think of that are in Kong Skull Island and the MCU are Brie Larson and Samuel Jackson. um, I really trying to think. It's probably so obvious.
Yeah, especially because you're fixated on the Kong
What
Skull Island thing. Because he's actually built higher than both L. Jackson and Brie Larson. I mean,
really?
I'm built higher than both of them. I was the
Hmm.
star of Kong Skull Island, and you don't remember who I am.
Are you the guy that plays Kong? Because I don't know what the fuck that
Uh,
dude's name is.
uh,
And he also.
no.
Oh, okay.
I played James Conrad, you fool.
Oh God. Yeah, I got no idea.
My name is Tom Hiddleston.
Oh my God. God damn. Tom Hiddleston was in that movie. Fuck. Damn it.
Uh,
All right, we got one more chance. One more chance to redeem myself.
yep, you got one more shot. You got one more shot, man.
Okay.
Uh, Give me just 1 second, cause am they are currently going to. I think they're calling their friend out there. Oh no, they're screaming. Wait, no. Okay, they're coming. They're coming back. They're and all right, cool. All right, all right, all right. I will now field your questions.
All right. Um, can you tell me a interesting fact about yourself? Just like give me a
I'm
fun
from
fact. Or, yeah.
Yeah, I'm from England, and I I was in Pacific Rim.
Do you have an accent?
I mean, yeah, but when I act, I don't most of the time.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
And is this the only big? I'm calling Pacific Rim a franchise here, loosely, a loose term of franchise. But is this isn't the only big franchise you're in, right?
No, well, I don't know if you consider like Sonic a franchise, but I was in the DC universe. I was also in Marvel. Uh, I was in NBA 2K20.
Okay. Um, my first guess would have been John Boyega, but the Marvel's throwing me off because uh, well, let's keep going. Do you have you dabbled into TV, or are you mostly in movies?
I'm mostly in movies. I'm a pretty big budget guy. Like I'm starring in your movie, or I'm a pretty main supporting role. Like obviously with the big movies, like who gets like to star in
Yeah, yeah.
Infinity War, right? But I played. I might have been in Infinity War. I don't
Okay,
remember.
okay. And have you ever worked with Apple TV?
I don't really pay attention to the producers, but not really.
Never worked with Apple
I'd rather die.
TV. Oh wow. Okay, okay. Um, so let's see. Have you ever? Would you say that uh, you're the type of person that would go to like the Met Gala?
Probably. I mean, depends. Someone asked me, probably, yeah.
Do you have a famous spouse or wife or husband?
Um, yeah, no. They're famous because they're with me,
But not famous in
but
your own
not
right. I see.
not famous, not notable otherwise.
I see. Um, I'm gonna say that you're Edris Elba.
You are correct.
Let's go.
You got one in the final hour.
I didn't know Edris Elba was in Pacific Rim.
He's apparently known for playing Stacker Pentecost on Pacific Rim 2013.
Yeah, more you know.
The more you know. Shout out Pacific Rim, and shout out you if you listened this far all the way until the end. Hopefully at a sped up speed as
Seriously.
we go as we sign out here today. You got any parting words for us, Trent?
Nope. Just hope you guys had a good time listening, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I hope you had a fun trip down memory lane with us as we went through that timeline. And check back next week as I have Trent watch a another comedy, Vacation Friends,
All right. All
starring one of
right.
my favorite actors, John Cena.
Let's go.
Uh, so he's gonna watch that in a week, and we'll talk about it next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.
Deuces.